Hey guys, and welcome back. Sorry I haven't done a video for a while, but I do this in my spare time and a few things have come up. So firstly, I want to say a quick shout out to one of my subscribers, and that would be David Waters and his children, Hannah and Rowan. I just want to say thank you so much for this t-shirt. Absolutely awesome. It fits me perfectly. I love it. And everyone, if they don't already know, can now see that I'm a big Saab fan. So yeah, I really appreciate that. Yeah, so one of the things that any of us do not want to experience if we own a Saab 900 or a 99 with a turbo is for that turbo to fail or some kind of failure. It's happened to me recently, and I tell you, it was definitely a heart-wrenching affair. So I've made a film about today, me ascertaining the problem and then diagnosing it and then eventually to the repair. So I hope it's useful to you, and welcome back to the Classic Saab Guy. So if I just talk you through what my turbo is doing, when this burst occurred, my needle on the turbo APC meter would actually go into the orange slightly, which was probably a symptom I didn't notice and may have been a problem of overboosting, which has now led to this problem. So I'm cruising at 110, 115 kilometers an hour in fifth gear. I'm at minimum base boost. I'm going to put my foot down now. I see the boost kick in. The needle goes up nearly 2/3 of the yellow, and then bosh, it just drops out. You can't really experience the change, but it actually feels quite strong that it just struggles to get up and then it just jumps out. And then I've lost all boost. So it's a problem that I really need to have looked at, so we're going to do that today. So at this point, when I realised I had a problem, the first thing I did was check to see if there was anything obvious under the hood, which I couldn't immediately see. So I spoke to a friend of mine, another Saab enthusiast, but also a bit more of a specialist when it comes to turbos. And he invited me over to his place, Westbead Saab, which is just outside the city where I live. And we did some diagnosis. And the first thing we did was to go out and do a test using a turbo meter, go for a test drive and just see what we could get from those readings.
Third gear, 3000 watt and full power. You have only 0.2. Not good.
So at this point we decided to investigate. So we removed the bonnet just to have some easy access to the engine area where the turbo is. So we investigated the turbo. We began to remove some hoses on the inlet and exhaust, and just to check what was going on. The turbine on the inlet seemed okay apart from some carbon scoring. And the exhaust was fine too. So we then investigated the wastegate actuator and found that that actually was broken. It was not doing its job at all. And as we had a spare, we quickly replaced that to test again, but we still had an issue with the APC solenoid valve, which was not actually doing its job. And it looked like that this was the reason why we had some overboosting, which we discovered on the first test drive. So we swapped out the APC solenoid valve and found that the car then seemed to perform correctly.
0.45.
So it was determined in the final diagnosis that this looked to be a kind of two-pronged problem. APC solenoid valve was failing, as well as the turbo wastegate actuator. It looks as if the actuator had been failing over a long period of time, and this could have put pressure on the APC system to overcompensate for those effects. Or the solenoid valve itself was defective and thereby putting extra pressure on the wastegate actuator.
It'll be really interesting to get your comments and your advice on this, because I'm still getting my head around how this failure happened. I kind of understand it, but it'd be really good to get you involved, and if you have any comments, because it's quite interesting learning about like overboosting and the effects of like failing components on the turbo. So yeah, it'd be really great to get some input on that.
Hey guys, I'm back in the Saab now. We have replaced that faulty wastegate. We have replaced the faulty APC solenoid valve, which probably caused the problem. And I just want to see where we are now in terms of if the repair has been successful. We've done a minor test, but now I'm on the motorway. I'm going to repeat the test I did before. I'm around 100 kilometers an hour. We have slightly tuned down the turbo at the moment using the APC, just so that we don't have full pressure, but we have like something between light pressure turbo and full pressure turbo, just to test that the APC is working as it should, just to avoid any damage if there wasn't a fault. So I'm gonna put my foot down now, 100 kilometers an hour, 5th gear. I'm gonna overtake this lorry, and the needle is going straight up to the yellow. The base boost went straight up to what it's supposed to do. It hit the edge of the orange, and as I let my foot off, the needle is dropping down on the meter. So it looks like I got the boost that I needed, and the APC responded so that I didn't overboost. So it looks like a successful repair. If you've enjoyed this video today, then please like and share, and please don't forget to subscribe with this button here, and see you next time on the Classic Saab.